I did not know I was on. Sorry for that extra second there. Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People, because I enjoy working for the fans of the Carolina Panthers. I'm here as a resource for you. So if you ever have any questions for a team, for a player or for a coach, I'm the guy to go and get those questions answered for you. Today, we're going to jump right into talking about the press conference today in which David Tepper spoke to the media for the first time since his last firing, as well as new interim coach Chris Tabor was introduced to the media. Now, I want to give a shout out to, I hate that I keep messing this guy's name up, to Shaked, who earlier today on Twitter said, hey, or maybe it was yesterday, mentioned that, hey, make sure you go live tomorrow after the press conference so we can have some fan interaction. I said, well, I can go live at any time, so I will. I wasn't able to be in person in the press conference today, and I'm glad that I was not in that press conference today, because those press conferences lasted a combined 20 minutes. And trust me, it takes you a lot more than 20 minutes just to get into that stadium, get all your gear up and do what we do, and then that would have been my first irritation, that it was only 20 minutes. David Tepper spoke for what was 10, but then was extended after some back and forth with reporters till about 15 minutes. Chris Tabor spoke for about 8 minutes, and we're going to talk about it. I want you guys, the link's in the description right now. I messed up yesterday. Link is in the description right now, though. So anybody that wants to join the show, let me know what you're thinking. I'd love to hear it, good, bad, or indifferent. So please click on that link and let me know how you feel. But this press conference today did not give me hope. Did not give me hope for a person that's learning his lesson. Didn't give me hope for things are going to be better. Now, if they are better, I'll let you know. I will be in Tampa this weekend to watch the game, and I hope that things will get better. But today wasn't something that tipped me off to say, things are going to be better. It was not. So let me give a few shout outs real quick. Carson Henson, Ali Broderick. Phi Beta hit his worst question ever asked by the media. I'm not sure if you're asking me what that question was, but nevertheless, I'm just reading some comments real quick. Sheree Bodabati, man, I feel like I butchered your name. What made Jerry Richardson a good owner? Well, you can say what made him a good owner was that he had a better record with the team than we have since David Tepper. We went to the Super Bowl multiple times with him, and we haven't with David Tepper. So, it just depends on how you want to measure that, but that's one thing. Tepper said yeah. And one more, I may be in the minority here, but Mr. Tepper is doing what I would be doing. I think we will all see how bad it was. It was much worse than people act. I believe you cut your losses and move forward. So there's a few parts to that, Carson, that I'm going to come back and address. And let's go ahead. I've done the hard work for you. I have chopped up some of the press conference from today, and we are going to go ahead and play it. So here's the first bit that I want to play for you. And this was in response to, hey, things haven't been going good. You guys are just defeated. And you're going through a lot of coaches. Are you going to change your process for how you operate on a day-to-day? Are you going to change your process for how you hire coaches? Here's his response. Did not drag and drop properly. Let's get it right today.
Things are constantly evolving, and they'll continue to evolve. And, trying to make things better is what you always try to do. Obviously, that record's not good enough. There's no hiding it. It is what it is, like everything in this sport. Everything's left on the field. Everybody knows what is every week. That record's that record. And like I said, it's not good enough. We're going to self-reflect and make it better.
So I'm just going to rate his responses to things. I'm going to give that a D, as in he responded, but he didn't give you an answer in terms of what that would be. And I will say this. I understand that every time you ask somebody a question, I've said this before in the past when people say, hey, you guys got to ask the hard questions and you got to keep pushing. Well, you can't make someone answer the question like you want them to. You can't make them. I mean, people go to court every day, swear on the Bible, and they lie and say whatever they want to say. But you can just try. All right. So that's what happened there on that first question. Let's go ahead and play another clip about patience. And this kind of goes back to, I want to touch on Carson's comment a little bit here. People have been touching on David Tepper's patience. And for me, I feel like his patience isn't the problem. I don't feel like he should just sit there and continue to let a guy lose for 5, 10 years to prove like, yeah, I was patient. I gave this guy 5, 10 years. But I think his process, his day-to-day operation, that needs to change. Patience, I'm okay with you not liking to win. That's fine. You got a big paycheck, write some. But I wanted to play this clip about David Tepper responding and talking about the great patience that he has.
Into those particulars, but I do have patience. I'm just not. My reputation away from this game is one for extreme patience. There's no reason why that doesn't, come here too. It does. Now, that patience comes with good performance and things that you want to see progress being made on different aspects. And as I said, I would like to have somebody here for 20, 30 years. I'd like to.
So that really supports what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, I can have patience, but something has to be working. Something has to be going in a good trajectory that I feel confident that it will be good. So I'm not mad at that comment. I'll give that response. I'll give it an A. That was, in my opinion, that was a pretty good response. Patience is predicated by what's going on. Are we making progress? Don't have a lot of time tonight, so I'm going to really run through these. Yes, you can call in. Link is in the description for anybody that wants to call in. Would love to hear it. That's why these shows are always live, because I want to interact with you guys. Here's another one about this being an attractive job, and this one's kind of let's play it and I'll talk about it.
Just generally speaking, and not here, but and not that this matters because this is here, but in other aspects of my life, we have people for 20, 30 years that work for me. Nobody ever leaves me.
I found it like crazy the way it said nobody ever leaves me. Just things aren't working. People do leave. All right. There's been let me play this one other clip because I don't have it. So let me just play. He talks another bit about how much he's improved things. They're not winning on the field, but in the front office, upstairs, as they say, there's been a lot of things that have changed, and they're in a good place. He has good people. Well, people have left you. That's why you made a lot of changes. And those changes that you're making upstairs or in other places that we don't see on the field every day, I don't think they're being the right changes. So that's one of the things I have a problem with. Patience, I don't have a problem with you not having patience when you don't have a good product. Okay, got it. But you're saying that you're making some good changes in this organization in terms of from the top down, and they're good changes, but things aren't going anywhere near that place. So to me, Tepper has a little bit of, yes, good logic, because in good businessman sense, he's obviously a successful guy for a reason. He knows how to do a lot of things that a lot of us aren't even near capable of doing, making decisions and balancing things. But with this one, it's conflicting. There's conflicting things because I feel like he still goes to just say, I know what I'm doing, even though it's not working, which is why I love one of the things that Scott Fowler is saying, and that he's not saying fire him as in, quit as an owner, but he's saying fire himself as in being involved in those operations. But nevertheless, let me keep on going. I got one more piece I want to play. Yes, the link is in the description. If you want to call in, vent, ask a question, whatever it may be. Let me know if you're having any problems with that link, because I know I put the wrong one up yesterday. So last but not least, so much talk has been out there about Bryce and CJ and who Frank wanted, who Tepper wanted. So he addressed that today.
Look, everything that's right and everything that's wrong here ultimately is my fault. Okay? I have the final say. But as far as those decisions, whether it's Frank Wright or it's Bryce Young, those decisions were made, and in the case of Bryce, it was almost, I believe it was a unanimous decision on the coaches and the scouts, and very strong opinions at the time. Now, it's been reported, and we talked about it. Originally, we were going to go with the number 2 pick, and we thought we would get CJ because we thought the Texans were going to pick Bryce. And listen, we preferred Bryce. He was our number 1 pick. We had a lot of conviction. In answer to your questions, it's just not the way the process was done. The process was done the way the process was done. And again, even though if there was a process with 5 people in the room.
Sorry about that. So there you go. Talking about the Bryce Young versus C.J. Stroud, saying that it was things are his fault. Well, I like that he took responsibility to say, "Hey, look, overall, the buck stops here. Overall, if things aren't working within this organization, it's my fault." I like that. And then he went on to comment about the Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, just saying, for as decision making goes, he has final say so, but he's not involved in getting to that point of like, hey, these are our top 3. These are our final decisions. That is kind of said in a way that makes it seem like, oh, well, I'm not really involved in the details. But if you make the final decisions for everything as it goes on, then you might as well be, that's just the same as being involved in a day-to-day operation, right? Because all week I could say, okay, I want to do this, blah, 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 do my work, present it to you, and you always have final say-so to change it. Okay, well, then you're really controlling a lot by doing that. Maybe he feels like he's not because he's not sitting there coming up with saying, hey, my top 5 is, but again, final decision gives you that power, gives you a lot of power, especially if you're using it regularly. Okay, so that's my feedback. Let me go ahead and get into these comments. You're welcome to call into the show. I want to go back to this comment from Carson that was up at the top. I may be in the minority here, but Mr. Tepper's doing what I would do. I think we all saw how bad it was. It was much worse than people act. I believe cut your losses and move forward. So Carson, I had touched on that comment earlier and wanted to play some of the videos to say, yeah, I'm not against him firing Frank Reich. A little odd, maybe he could have waited till the end of the season instead of doing it so soon. But I am in favor of saying if it's not working, move on, but learn from it in a way that's going to help you be better. Don't just say move on because it wasn't working, but yet I still am going to be involved too much. That's my big issue. Let's continue to move on. Can't believe no one asked about Fitterer until Tepper podium was what. Okay, so I know what you're saying. Can't believe that nobody asked him about Fitterer until he was about to walk off. Well, let me give some insight to how press conferences typically work, especially when you get to talk to the owner. So we don't get to talk to David Tepper often. And so when we do, it's generally not just 5 or 10 minutes. I'm not sure how many questions they were able to get in there, maybe 6. And then it was this conversation where somebody was able to come in and add the one on there. So typically, you kind of want to wait until you start going for the jugular, so to say, for some hard questions. You want to get the things rolling. You want to see what kind of temperament whoever you're interviewing is giving you. In this case, it was owner David Tepper. And then other questions come as you're able to follow up. And you also want to be giving other reporters, it's a little etiquette, an opportunity to ask a question. Today's press conference was unusually quick and brief, and it did not give people a time to get into some other questions, right? If you had known that it was going to be, hey, you guys get 5 questions, okay, things might have come differently, and people probably would have loaded their questions up more because they know, oh, they're going to cut it short. Not to mention, I want to make sure everybody knows this that's watching this video. Please, what are we at, the 14-minute mark? I hope people make it to the 14-minute mark. The team can control some narratives and things. You hate to see it happen, and you hope it doesn't, because that kind of ruins the whole reason for press and journalism. But there was a member of the media, Scott Fowler, who had a very popular back and forth with David Tepper during the last time we were talking to him about coaching changes. That guy was not allowed to ask a question today. He wasn't given the opportunity to ask a question today. And yeah, so when you say, why wasn't the Fitterer question asked? Well, there was a guy that was there today who's been covering this team since the inception, which means you would expect him to be able to have some courtesy, some grace with the team. Say, hey, let's let this guy get in a question. And it didn't happen. I only got about 2 more minutes here. Chance, I can't see, but I'm going to hit the button. Hopefully I'll be able to see you. What's going on, Chance? You are muted currently. I don't know if you have a bad connection, but you're going to be my one and only call for the night. If I can get you on, you're currently frozen. I'm going to give you the countdown. because you haven't moved since you came on here. Darn it, I had to kick Chance off. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a short night for me. I will continue to report. I will be back daily. So make sure you set your notifications so that you can know when I go live so that you can interact. All right, let's see if we got a take two. All right, let's see if we can bring him on. Take two, take two. Are we working now? Oh, Chance, I got you on the screen frozen.
Reason.
I'll give you another 10 seconds to hopefully hope that it works so you can come through. Oh, man, Chance, daggone nabbit. All right, well, he couldn't come through. Chance, again, I apologize. I'm on a short schedule tonight, and I have to get off of here. But Chance, do me this favor. Please call in tomorrow. Even if we're not talking about whatever you want to talk about tonight, call in tomorrow or whenever you get another chance. I love having people on the show. Let me know what it is that you want to say or question that you have, and I'll be sure to answer it for you. I'll be in the locker room tomorrow. I'll continue to report on this team. I will be in Tampa. I will be in New Orleans. I will cover every single game this season in terms of being there in person. I hope you all will join me for that adventure that I hope is a good one. For Charlotte Vibe, I'm Chris Jenkins. Thanks for watching.